Hey guys, welcome back to the Comfy Crew. Ziggy here, ready to rock.
Hello everyone, Vicky here too. Nice to have you with us.
And Murphy is here as well. Hi guys, today we are diving into our Easy Pony workflow. We chose this one because many of you do not know the special features of the pony model yet, and we want to bring them a bit closer to you.
But let us be honest for a second. We are not exactly pony professionals.
Right? And well, we have to admit you can create images with this that are, let's say, not safe for work. Yes, we tested that too. Purely for scientific research, of course.
Tee-hee, sure Murph, research. We might drop a tiny hint or tip later in the video, but that is it.
Exactly. If you want to create specific content, you will figure that out by yourselves if you adjust the prompt. Enough said. The main reason is actually this. Pony is really easy to handle, except for the prompting style. And some of you guys gave us constructive feedback. You reminded me that I always pack way too much into the videos and workflows.
It is true, Murphy. Sometimes less is more. You like to build complex monsters.
I know. So we hope the pony workflow is perfect to focus more on the functions of our new layout. We want to explain how it works under the hood without getting lost in complex nodes.
So, if you are new here, check out the installation video first. Best place to look is our 2026 playlist for Comfy UI.
Regarding the installation guide, I actually took it offline. We just wanted to make a few corrections and add some notes. Because some things were already outdated, it is basically almost finished. I am just recutting it, and it will be back online in the next few days. But it is not just about the installation. It covers some fundamental things too. And well, a little bit of self-promotion for our music channel. Please do not take it amiss.
We really think the music is good, and we want to show you what is possible with AI today. The images, the videos, the music and the voice.
So when it is back, pay close attention from minute 5:16 to 24:45. That is the magic block.
Yes, make sure to subscribe so you do not miss the re-upload. Much of it might be known to you, but certainly not everything. These are the real basics for Comfy UI.
Exactly. After that video is back online, we will upload the new workflows. But here is the thing, because of the many deep changes in Comfy UI, we will not make a separate video for every single workflow anymore.
Nope, that would be madness.
Instead, we are rebuilding all workflows that are important to us, based exactly on this new concept. So if you watch the updated installation video and get the concept, you get the workflows.
And if something remains unclear, write it in the comments. Murphy will answer it.
But maybe not on the same day. Tee-hee, give the man some time.
Thanks, Ziggy. Remember guys, this is still a pure hobby for us, even if we ran ads once in a while. To be honest, we have not earned a single cent with YouTube yet. We just do it for the fun.
And give us some time. We do not earn any dough here. Murphy has a real job, and on the side there are just a few bucks coming in from our music. But one thing is for sure, here you get stuff that is hard to find anywhere else, and our goal is to entertain you a bit too, not just stuff you with information until you explode. Feel free to write in the comments what you think about that. Yeah, and now switch off. Or let it run to the end. Maybe you see something that interests you specifically then. Write that to us too, Xiao.
So, enough small talk. You know the drill. If you just want the info, there are chapters you can jump directly to for the impatient ones among you.
But for us, the introduction is simply part of it, and you learn a thing or two on the side, and you see what can be created with this workflow.
Oh, one more thing. Automatic translation might be easier to understand, but it simply sounds like shit. Let us go.
Okay, let us go. Our workflows are divided into differently colored groups.
This helps to keep things organized. And for easier navigation, we use bookmarks.
Exactly. You can navigate through shortcuts or directly up here via the menu.
We jump with key 1 to the input settings. Above that, you see switches for different groups. We can turn them on and off here or set them to bypass.
This is a special feature. And for this, you need the RGthree nodes.
We will show you the settings briefly. Here you can enable the option to control it directly in the groups. At the top right corner.
Ziggy, you take over now.
You got it, boss. So with these settings enabled, you can set the groups directly to bypass right here. So how do you control these group switches? Actually, it is simple. Just right-click on the node, then go to the Properties panel, and then you see the options here. We control the whole thing via match colors. That means we dye our groups with specific colors, and we enter those hex codes right here. Otherwise, another important thing is the toggle restriction. Here you can decide what happens when clicking. Default means you can toggle all switches freely. Max 1 means maximum 1 active at a time, and always 1 means exactly 1 is always active. For coloring, we actually discovered a really cool new custom node recently. Let me quickly show you how and where to find it. We go to the manager and search under Custom Nodes Manager for color and install. There you see it already. Naturally, the full name is comfyui-custom-node-color. That is what it is called. And if you click on the link there, you will find the developer's page where everything is explained really well again. And of course, Ziggy shows you quickly how that works. Here you can dye the node, right-click all the way down on the node, and ta-da-da, it opens up. And here you also see the color code. That is what you have to enter in the group switch. Oh right, group. Naturally, I show you this for a group as well. Also here, right-click, edit group, and then all the way down, custom color group. And there you find the color code again. We always use some relatively simple numbers. Yeah, that was it, easy peasy. Awesome node, right? Okay, let us look at the settings group a bit more closely. First, the checkpoint loader. Here you have to enter your pony model. There are tons of them out there. We cannot really give a specific recommendation here. We have not tested that many. But basically, a pony model works similar to SDXL, and we are quite fit in that area, especially cis. But, okay, we started with this one here. Pony Diffusion V6XL. It actually says, start with this one. No idea. And the Perfect Pony XL has really good ratings too. There are already Loras or other models merged into it. And yeah, for anime it is really cool. You will surely find something that fits you. But of course, I am not showing any 18+ stuff here. Next up is Perturbed Attention Guidance. Here Sissy recommends a value between 2.0 and 4.0. Sissy is my sister, by the way, and she really knows her stuff when it comes to visual details. Anyway, I will take 3, and then clip set last layer. This is super important. Set it to -2. That is a special requirement. Otherwise it will not work with your pony workflow. So keep that in mind. In the back, you can already see the new features we built into the 2026 workflows. The easy set nodes, more on that later. Below that, the seed node from RGthree. That one is just classy for rolling the dice when you want a new seed, but want to fix it right away. We almost always just press new fix seed. Next to it, you see 2 easy get nodes. We use those at the inputs of our subnode. That is the second big innovation in our 2026 workflows. And we will take a closer look at that right now. But first, let us take a quick look at what else is in the foreground of this group. Here is a node for the positive prompt. Then a node where you can select the scheduler. SGM uniform works very well with this model. Depending on the situation, simple or Karas might also be suitable for pony. Below that, the negative prompt, you can simply swap here, or if you leave it completely empty. You can also write directly into the subnode below that. The input for denoise for the text-to-image workflow here. This must always be set to 1. It is just a little preparation for the multi-workflow, which can also do image-to-image and other stuff. That is where it becomes more important. And later on, there will be some more tips and tricks for prompting. Okay, now let us dive into the subnode. They have been in comfyui for some time now. You recognize them by the icon in the front of the title bar, and the switch to dive in at the end. Okay. Then let us press that once, and zap. We are inside. It might happen that you see nothing at first, then simply click on Fit View down below. Or just press the dot on your keyboard. Then it zooms so you see everything. Just a note. If you selected a node beforehand, it zooms to that node, not the complete workflow. Of course, we did not really need this here, but we wanted to start simple and explain to you how it works. You basically have inputs and outputs in such a subnode, and you can build a workflow within a workflow, hence the name, I guess. Actually, almost all nodes here are just for passing through, so we can enter values directly outside, and then forward them to the easy set nodes in the back, except for the easy prompt concatenate. There we just chained 2 Lora triggers. I will explain what that means later. We only connected the batch size so the node does not complain. But we find the option to select and overwrite from the SDXL empty latent size quite cool, even though we do not calculate the empty latent here at all. But I will show you how easy we could do that. I simply connect the latent output of the node with an output of the subnode. The inputs and outputs can be easily renamed too, to make everything a bit clearer, if it is necessary. It works basically the same way for the inputs. There are a few little things though, like it is sometimes a bit harder to spot if something is wrong, or if a node is missing, especially when you are outside the subnode, and it does not glow red, but surely there will be a solution for that in Comfy soon. Good, then let us get out of here. If you still have questions, write them to us in the comments. Up here, simply press on the workflow name at the front, and you are back out. Oh, and there we have a new output now. The latent I linked earlier.
Sis, show the viewers the function of the easy set and easy get nodes with that. See, I can think along too. Even if it is not about art, but about technology.
Great idea, sis. I will do that right away. But first, let us quickly look at the things that can be set on the outside of the subnode, resolution, and the batch size, which had no function before, but is now needed for the empty latent. Then here, the option to overwrite width and height. The number of steps you recommended 28 as a sweet spot, right? CFG around 6.0. And sampler, hey sis, help me out, give me some advice, what is good for Pony? Yeah, dear viewers, when it comes to what looks best, ask Sissy with her sense for art.
Well, for Pony models, I usually swear by Euler Ancestral. It just gives it that nice organic touch. But DPM++2M is also a solid choice if you want it cleaner. So take your pick. Sure, looking at that huge list can make you dizzy, but let us be real. 90% of that is just noise for what we want to do here. Pony loves Euler A. It just handles the style best, and is super forgiving. If you really want to experiment and need more details, take DPM++2M SDE. But do not drive yourself crazy with the selection. The motif is more important than the math behind the sampling. Trust me. Stick to the basics and master them.
And what is up with DPM, PP3M, SDE GPU? That sounds powerful.
Oh, the heavy artillery basically. It calculates the noise calculations on the GPU, which is technically cool. But for Pony, honestly, it is often overkill. Sometimes it even makes the image a bit too restless or grainy. Stick to the classics, unless you are really looking for trouble. Or you need that specific look.
Okay, I got it. I will stick with Euler A. Okay, then I will build in an easy set node now. Double click, and type easy space set. There we have it already, now connect it. Ah, the name latent is already taken. That is why a 0 is appended. I will change that to latent_start now. Then I know later what is meant. And another pretty color. Nice pink. By the way, if you press the dot at the front, you can collapse and expand the nodes. As you can see, they all have a name that we can retrieve somewhere else in the workflow. Here we simply place the Lora trigger in front of the positive prompt. Of course, we could have done that inside the subgraph as well. There are many roads to Rome, as Murph would say. Okay, hit fit view once, just to get the lay of the land. Where do we need to go with the latent? Ah, back there, at the sampler, that is where it is needed. And in the group before that, the conditioning group, Murph built it in there too, probably already in anticipation of the multi-workflows. Well, to be honest, he actually builds monster workflows, and then breaks them down into digestible chunks for Sissy, who is supposed to follow his confused thoughts anyway, even though he always promises he keeps it simple, but this way Sis can follow, and hopefully you guys too. He simply had the empty latent calculated here using width and height and batch 1. Why not at the front? Well, maybe we will find out someday. Okay, I will just double click now, type easy space get, and there I have the get node. Now select my latent_start from before here, and then connect it. Now we could delete Murph stuff, and the workflow should still run. I have to test that quickly. Okay, what the heck? I am deleting his stuff now. And boom, hit run. And yeah, cool. It is running. It seems to be working. Oh, hey, awesome. What a cool pony. I am so good.
Yeah, sis, you are a genius. But hey, we still want to work on our new 80s disco sound together today. Just load Murphy's original workflow again. He does not need to know about your little rebellion. Besides, he promised me high and low that I get to play the first few bars at the end of this video. So please, do not mess this up for me, sissy.
Already done, I mean. I still want to show and explain the other stuff in the workflow anyway. Okay, since we are already here, these two groups are for saving the images. Why so complicated? Well, we want to have a bit more info and metadata in the images. That is what we can set here, and simply assign the name and the save path. You can also switch and use the simpler save group. Or come on, let me show you that quickly. Just delete the two groups, and use the standard save node from Comfy. Simply take the easy get node, and connect the image with the save node there. Okay, throw the trap over it, then hit the delete key, and away with it. Now double click, and save. Ah, there she is already. Now double click and easy get. Ah, very important. Search for image here and select it first, and zap zap, connect the two, run, and ta-da-da-da. Done. Works perfectly. And yes sis, I'm loading the original workflow again. Okay, already done. What else do we have here that is interesting? Ah, very briefly, the conditioning. You really should not change anything in here. I will just take a quick peek inside. Just some math happening here, but there is a factor, and you can change that on the outside. Sis just whispered in my ear that this is good for SDXL, and for Pony 2, simply gives you better quality. I mean, you could choose 1 or 2 and test it, but we clearly recommend leave it at 4, but feel free to test it out. Well, and on we go to the lying Sigma sampler. You can simply switch it off with the button if you set the factor to 0. That is like turning it off if you go slightly into the minus in 100 steps. So, more than minus 0.05, then it will surely snow on your image. This is kind of like a more detailed unit, a few hundredths above 0, and there will be fewer and fewer details. Our sweet spot here is minus 0.02. You can also set the range in which the influence should work during the generation. There is more info on that on the developer page. This is a great opportunity to explain the Any Switch node from RGthree to you. As you can see, there are multiple inputs and one output. If you build your workflow so there is a connection but no signal, you can use this to automatically switch which signal gets passed through. The rule is top to bottom. The first input where a signal is present gets processed. So, if there is a signal here at input 1, the lying Sigma sampler is used, but if we switch it off, whether via a group mute or with the fast muter, it does not matter. The important thing is that no signal comes through. Attention, bypass can work, but that only works if everything in this chain before it is set to bypass. We really hope that this function does not get sacrificed to the Comfy updates at some point if anyone has connections. Please show them what cool stuff you can do with this very easily. Let us take a quick look inside the custom sampler subnode. The custom advanced sampler is tucked away in here, and it works really well. Here you can see exactly how to integrate it into a workflow. Plus, this is also where the Lora models are added to the Pony model. It is basically our stacking station, and we will take a closer look at how those Loras work in just a moment. Okay, out of here, and off we go with the bookmark to the Lora Loaders. Murphy actually reacted to the criticism from some viewers and added a very simple Lora stat loader. You can just switch between them, and here we use that solution with the full group bypass again. Remember? Then nothing gets through because there is no path for the signal. Do you still remember the setting in the properties panel? That is how you can switch between the damn cool Lora manager or the simple Lora stat loader. Ha! I caught Murph. Always 1 is selected here. Well, I would say that is not ideal. It should be set to max 1. So just select your Lora models and set the strength. Or use the Lora manager. We already reported on that in our slightly too much SDXL video, but honestly, check out the developer's site. That thing is seriously awesome. And yeah, meanwhile, it also works for Z image and Nunchaku Flux and so on. But of course, having a simple solution as a backup that you can just flip on is a good idea. So, the choice is yours. The one trigger must always stay, otherwise there could be an error if a signal is expected and none arrives. You could even delete the Lora manager group, and the workflow would still run, but I would always leave the simple stacker in there as a fallback for when those big updates hit again. What else do we have? The prompt mixer. Well, that is actually just a small subnode where different prompts are strung together, and you can easily change the order from the outside. You know, Sissy always says, the further front a word is in the prompt, the more influence it has on the image. Okay, with the Lora trigger, that is supposedly not supposed to matter. But we always put it at the very beginning of the prompt anyway. Better safe than sorry. Okay, and now let me show you what you can actually use this for. It is just an easy workflow without any special conditioning tricks. Pure prompt games. Here are the switches again. You can put in additional prompts or a main prompt, or you switch on the portrait master, which lets you tinker together a portrait. Personally, I do not think Pony is the best choice for that specifically, but you can easily swap it out, Styler, or Florence too, or, well, Murphy will surely build something different into the multi-workflows anyway. And over there, in the SDXL version, we had the focus styler. You can obviously build that in here too, but here we have something specifically for Pony. Let me show you that a bit closer. First, let us get rid of the rainbow pony, the text, I mean. Of course, here you can click your prompt together, starting with the prefix, surrealist painting sounds good. Subject, monster, obviously. Okay, open mouth, jacket, sunrise in the mountains, a quiet rural village, and, oops, let us keep our hands off that one. The things you find in here, you definitely shouldn't turn that on. And now we simply swap the node for the positive text at the front and use the keywords for the pony models. To be honest, I have no idea. Sis wrote that in there, but it works great. __9, __8, _up, _7, up. What does that actually mean? Well, anyway, it helps the model understand that we want the really high quality stuff. Don't ask me about the math, just look at the result. And, go. Oh no, error. What the hell? Okay, stay calm. Murphy insisted on having this be that dramatic. I deleted the Lora manager earlier, remember? Well, there were 2 easy set nodes in there as well. Let us compare this to a radio station. For every transmitter, there is a receiver. If something is being broadcast, but there is no receiver, it is annoying, but not a disaster. But if there are receivers tuned to a specific frequency and nothing is being sent, then, boom, you get an error, and that is what we are seeing right here. It is a shame the receivers do not light up when they're getting no signal. Maybe the developers will fix that soon. So, now I have to go on a hunt to find out which receivers are starving because I deleted their transmitters. Found the first one. It's right here at the input settings. Filtered trigger words. Ah, I remember. That's that cool feature from the Lora manager. Well, I could change it, but you know what? Away with it. To be on the safe side, I'll just link the extra Lora trigger directly to the input of the subnode, clean and simple, just the way we like it. Now the signal has a clear path again, and no more complaining from Comfy. And another error. Let me hit run again so I can see the error message at the top. Active Loras has no transmitter anymore. Yes, of course, that was for the model hashes of the Loras, so the special save group can write the exact hash of the Loras into the image metadata. Well then, let's head over to the save group. It's a bit like detective work, but once you understand the connections, it's actually quite fun. And gotcha, okay? If you don't know the workflow, this can be a bit tricky. So, what am I doing here? Well, I honestly have no clue how to get that model hash right now since I killed the manager, but hey, I'm not going to overthink this. I'm just deleting the node. Period. No transmitter, no receiver, no problem. It should all run now, theoretically. One transmitter can have multiple receivers, but not the other way around. That is basic logic, right? And now, for the love of everything that is holy, hit run. There we go. It is running.
Oh man, I would have woken up Murph ages ago, but okay. Whether it is spaghetti cables or transmitters and receivers, you are just better at that than I am. Holy shit! Oh right, you chose Monster earlier. I had already forgotten, but I am loading the original workflow again now. We want to use the Lora manager anyway, and our viewers can just switch it off, or if they want to delete it, well, you just showed them how. Best regards from Murph, by the way. Well, he is with Cyrus right now. Do you guys even know who that is? Sis and I created him because we wanted a real singer, not a bathtub singer like Murph, like we said earlier. Besides our AI indie band, we are planning this funk soul band. Murph has been raving about his youth in this disco in Waresburg in the early 80s. Royal. He said the sound there was so awesome, and we want to create something in that direction. Murph is coaching Cyrus right now. And you guys are the first ones who get to have a listen. Of course. Our indie band will stay on Spotify and everything, and we still have our second channel for AI art here on YouTube, you know, for images, videos, and music experiments.
We say ciao for now, see you soon, and now, feel the groove!
Listen close. Before the nodes connect, before the pixels flow. Murphy's in the basement, hunting for that perfect seed. Vicky's got the logic. Ziggy's got the spark. We don't just generate, we create. We just need this groove.
Hey, feel that logic flow. Open up the workspace, let the colors guide the way. We're building worlds of wonder. 26 is here today. Forget the standard, forget the basic lines. We're wiring up the future where the human soul defines. It ain't about the render, no, it ain't about the speed. It's the vision in the system, that's the only thing we need. We're prompting as one, yeah, we're moving as one. Under the neon glow, the work has just begun. Moving as one. Murphy's found a hidden path, a secret in the code. Cyrus takes the mic now, let the soul funk glow. From the Lora manager to the stacker in the back, we're keeping every signal on a high fidelity track. It ain't about the render, no, it ain't about the speed. It's the vision in the system, that's the only thing we need. We're prompting as one, yeah, we're moving as one. Under the neon glow, the work has just begun. Drop the heavy artifacts, let the Sigma fly. Check the hash. We're reaching for a quality that money can't buy. Ain't about the render, it's about the soul. Moving as one, take it for control.
You see, that's the 2026 vibration. Murphy, get the coffee. Ziggy, save that workflow. Cyrus is out, but the groove stays in the metadata. Yeah. Keep it rendering.